I'm a huge fan of the Adidas NMD S1 silhouette. In fact, it's one of those silhouettes that I proclaimed as one of my top 10 plus 5 shoes of 2022, and it has earned the right, a privilege if you will, for me to almost certainly buy every colorway that's released of this particular silhouette, including the Riot one, which is the Space Age boot, which is the one that I proclaimed was in my top 10 plus 5. Now, this is a nice, very clean colorway. It's the original colorway. It's not the friends and family, because I don't make that kind of shoe tube money. But this is a beautiful, beautiful shoe, and I love the way it feels. It's so incredibly comfortable. One of the most comfortable shoes out there, in my opinion, and such an awesome, futuristic, just killer looking silhouette. So when the pictures were released for the NMD S1 Humanrace MAHBS in this oatmeal blue corn colorway, I paused. Number one, because it's a polarizing shoe. Look at it. It says Humanrace really large on the shoe. It kind of looks like it's a burlap bag, and this looks like a shoe that was customized by someone that was just dipping this into blue paint because they wanted to do it for the clout, for the likes, for the gram. But as you can see, I obviously bought it. Why? Because, well, number one, like I said, it's earned the right for me to at least try the shoe and see what it feels like and what it looks like in person. And number two, for the lulz, so that I can let you know what to do about this shoe in case maybe you're thinking about getting it, or you just kind of go like, I'll wait till someone's dumb enough to buy that shoe and let me know how it feels and how it looks on foot. And number three, I can instantly add this to my hallway rotation because this is a shoe that I should just be wearing and wear it out, because to be honest, I haven't worn out an NMD S1 shoe at all. So this will be the first one. So let's dive into this Humanrace NMD S1 MAHBS. Sorry about that. What's up, y'all? It's Daniel, your Shoemmelier, and yes, I am talking about the Adidas NMD S1 MAHBS, not spelled M-O-B-S, but M-A-H-B-S. I guess that's more phonetic. Not really sure. English is somewhat of a complicated language from what I understand from those trying to learn it for the first time. It's in this oatmeal and blue corn colorway. I'm really excited to talk about it because there's the things I really like about it, and there's some things that, well, I don't really like about it. Pharrell Williams spent the better part of 2022 reconnecting with nature, an experience that thus inspired his collaborative work with the Three Stripes. And after releasing several colorways of his first outdoors-inspired boot, the NMD S1 Riot, the renowned artist is now once again evolving the design language of the relatively new Adidas base, providing it a simpler, more lifestyle-oriented makeover. MAHBS, especially the naming convention, are yet another opportunity to be the expression of a group of humans, a mob, Williams comments. And when you see the Humanrace mark, it's not only to let you know it's the property of this brand, it's a nod to our intention around the future of well-being. The debut NMD S1 MAHBS colorway Oatmeal Blue Corn highlights what Adidas calls the shoe's human touch, a textural canvas one-piece upper designed to cradle the foot and chunk boost outsole ridged for the sake of maximum traction. Bold blue accents stand out across the oversized Humanrace branding printed along the quarter panel as well as the heels, which are styled with the dipped effect. Trefoil-shaped treading is present down below to provide ample traction for wearers. Thick rope laces throw it back to the past, but otherwise, the NMD S1 MAHBS is a sneaker for the future. The Pharrell Williams and Adidas NMD S1 MAHBS in the oatmeal and blue corn colorway, released on January 27th, 2023, and retails for $230 US American dollars. Now, when it comes to fit, my main everyday true to size is 9.25, but that shoe size does not exist. So I either have to go down to a 9 and either remove the insole or hope the shoe works or figure something out, or go up to a 9.5, hope that shoe fits, or put in a secondary insole and or wear a thicker sock. Now, when it comes to anything Humanrace related in Adidas, whether it's the NMD or it's some variation thereof, I actually have to go down to an 8.5, which many would consider going down half a size from my true to size. There is something about Pharrell Williams shoes that tend to fit my foot a little bit longer. So in every Pharrell Williams co-signed Adidas shoe, I go down half a size to an 8.5. So I consider in the Pharrell Williams shoes, my true to size to be 8.5, which is down half a size. Now my foot is a regular size foot. It's not wide and it's not narrow. I do like more wiggle room in the toe box and don't like a lot of lockdown in the midfoot. So having said that, since I find I'm consistent in this particular silhouette and all Pharrell Williams silhouettes, I would say whatever fits you the best in pretty much every Pharrell Williams silhouette, I would say go with that. And for me, that's true to size when it comes to the Pharrells, which again is down half a size to an 8.5 in my case. Now, when it comes to comfort, this is not nearly as comfortable in the upper as the other NMD S1s, and that's probably because it's not made out of that prime knit or prime blue or that super soft material. It is more comfortable than the Riot, which is really tall, it's really chunky and bulky, and I think that's more of an industrial type boot shoe. So I would put this second on the list of comfort. We have the OG NMD S1, we have the MAHBS, and then we have the Riot. Because as I mentioned, the upper is canvas-like. It almost feels like a burlap sack. Probably much better, higher quality material than your everyday normal burlap sack. But when you look at the rope laces and that canvas burlap upper, you can imagine it's an idea of, hey, don't we put flour or sugar or any type of grain in burlap bags? I can only imagine that's something Pharrell Williams looked at and goes, let's make that a shoe, but for the future. Now I understand there are two big elephants in the room when it comes to this colorway. Number one, it says Humanrace in huge blue lettering. And then number two, you have this huge, almost dip-dyed, spray-painted blue, royal blue colorway on the heel and only the heel. It extends a little bit further on the outsole only because, well, that's just the way angles and diagonals work. But for the most part, it's very striking. Now, when you look on the inside, it doesn't look so bad. And I've heard some people go, well, I wish it didn't say Humanrace on it. Well, this is what it would look like if it didn't say Humanrace on it. Do you like that better? Or some people go, I wish it didn't have a giant blue on there. Well, I don't know how to do that. The shoe would be kind of boring. Look, I'm not saying this is a fantastic design. It is very polarizing. But I think that these two pieces are very necessary to make this shoe pop, because otherwise this beige canvas burlap sack type upper is really boring. So they needed to do something to it. And so I think adding this dip dye royal blue technique to the heel gives it its personality, because without it, it would just be an empty canvas, right? And maybe that's what some of you want out there, and I get that. But for me, I do want a little pop. I want, like a base that is muted color, but then like pow, greens and purples and pinks. And for this one, this is kind of a statement shoe, right? Number one, it already is a statement shoe because it's in that futuristic, what I consider to be a futuristic approach to a shoe, in which Adidas and Pharrell Williams obviously are going for. And so it's futuristic, it's already eye-catching. A lot of people don't like it, especially for the price point, and that's okay. But then you add the striking blue and canvas and all that stuff, and it just takes it to a whole nother level. So I feel like this is a conversation shoe, while at the same time being an okay, comfortable shoe. I said the upper isn't as comfortable. The outsole, the midsole, the insole is every bit as comfortable as your normal previous NMD S1s or the Riot. So I think bottom-wise, pretty much the same. It feels good. Now, some people have complained that the medial side, the inner foot right around here is a little bit like you can feel the rubber going against the inside of your foot, and I suppose that's true. Maybe it has to do with the way you walk and the way you stand, right? Is it pronate, over pronate, under pronate? I'm not really sure. So like if your foot is supposed to be this way, and if you are like that, if you're digging in, maybe that's why. And if you do that, maybe you feel on the outer edges. I don't know. I think I can't remember what I do. I do this. Whatever. Is this under pronate? Probably someone like Sneak Erica will fill us in. Amado. I know I don't walk normally. When I try to walk normally, it feels weird. But I do under pronate. Regardless, I think if you do under pronate, you're probably feeling a little bit of this rubber on there. But maybe if you over pronate, if those are the right terms, you might feeling it on the outside. So I can see how some people may not think this is super comfortable, but it's a really cushy ride. It's really comfortable, and it's still one of the top 3 most comfortable silhouettes out there in all of sneakerdom, in my humble opinion. And there we have it, my thoughts on the Pharrell Williams and Adidas NMD S1 MAHBS in the oatmeal and blue corn colorway. Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. What do you think about this shoe? What do you think about the overall silhouette? What do you think about this third iteration of the NMD S1? Are you with it? Are you not with it? And there's a world where Pharrell Williams, who recently was announced as the new creative director of men's Louis Vuitton, there's a world where Pharrell goes bonkers with Adidas in the way Yeezy did. I could see this Humanrace line just going crazy, but that would mean, number one, and I don't know what kind of control he has or doesn't have, but it would be just like, do stuff like this. Like, I could see them taking the NMD S1 and making this the hype shoe. I don't know what it would take to make that. A lot of celebrities wearing it, athletes, rappers, artists, etc. But to me, the NMD S1 is the better shoe. It's better made, it's way more comfortable, and I understand some people will go, well, yeah, well, of course, the 350 V2 came out first and 700. Look, they're all incestuous in how they're created in the big three-stripe family. Let's get that out of the way. And they all draw inspiration from previous silhouettes. But there's a world where this NMD S1 is the most hype Adidas shoe in the realm of Yeezy-dom. But probably not gonna happen, not with Pharrell going to Louis. I'm sure he'll mix and match and have all that stuff going, but I'd be curious to see what sort of design language carries over to Louis or vice versa. I don't know. To me, it's only plus. I think there's going to be some great stuff we're going to see from Louis that he couldn't do at Adidas, and some stuff with Adidas that he couldn't do with the Louis. And just like Virgil did with Air Force One and Louis, I can imagine that there's going to be a Louis Vuitton Humanrace collab. And I'm going to be there just like Fry with the cash in my hand saying, take my money, because I'm going to be all about that one. Not saying the Air Force One Louis wasn't a great collab, but it's just, that's not me. I'm like, okay, I don't like the Air Force One that way, but I do like Humanrace that way. So I'm anxious to see it. Let's talk about all of that in the comment section down below. So to all of you out there, wherever you are, thanks for watching. Stay tuned and just chill. Till the next episode.